Hello, this is Daniel Padilla from Operation Samahans. Today we'll be highlighting the Life Skills Core Intervention, which is a required intervention of the Information and Education Program. The Core Intervention, Life Skills. And this is the activities packet that every participant that participates in the Life Skills Program will be receiving. There is a curriculum that coincides with this activities packet, but today, for this presentation and video, I'm going to focus primarily on the Life Skills packet. To give a brief background of how this was developed, myself, Daniel Padilla, Program Coordinator for the Information and Education Program, met with two different schools, a high school and a middle school, in developing this program. We had a focus group, and the focus group consisted of both faculty and students, and they were given a list of possible life skills topics that they can choose from, ranging from nutrition all the way to HIV, and they were asked to pick their top 3 to 4 choices in order of preference. And from that list, we got about 50 sheets back, and from there myself, Daniel Padilla, and health educator Kelly Strona compiled the data and developed a curriculum based on the needs of our community. Highlighted in the Life Skills packet, you can see right here on below are the different lessons that we decided on. The first one is the nutrition lesson, the second one is oral health, the third one is healthy decision making, and the fourth one is pregnancy prevention. What I'm going to do now is go through the packet and give an example of what contents you would find in our activities packet that would be given out to every single student that participated in the Life Skills program. And once again, the reason why we developed the activities packet is because we were combining classes at several schools, up to about 60 participants in one class setting. Primarily you get about 20 students in a traditional classroom setting, and to alleviate the prep time in terms of having a peer educator make copies for every single presentation. Bear in mind, at Granger Junior High School, where we piloted this program at, we actually had 300 participants through 6 periods go through this classroom. So keeping track of which student got a handout was the best option instead of printing out copies on a daily basis. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into the packet to give you guys a glimpse at what we created here. And to my knowledge, we're the only agency, I&E funded agency, that does a packet like this. So let me go ahead and open up the contents and get started with this presentation. I already prepared it for you guys. So on your first sheet, when you open up the packet, you'll notice that you see a participant attendance and data sheet. What this does is help us track the demographic information for each student that participates in our program. And the information that's provided on this sheet is the information that we would be turning into our funders, focusing on ethnicity, gender, age, and attendance, so that we track the completers. Here's an example of a completed sheet. On this sheet you have ethnicity, which is filled out, gender, age, and every single time they participate in a group, they get an attendance stamp. So that's to mark attendance, to make sure that we are following along and documenting completers. On the front sheet is their name and their period, so we keep track of it, obviously. So moving on in the packet. The second sheet would be a life skills pretest, and what this does is it basically gauges their knowledge in terms of what information they had, or knowledge they had before the group started, and different behaviors. Because what we're looking at with the Life Skills program is definitely behavior change is important. So that's what our focus was when developing this survey. Some of the questions to go along with this is, do you brush your teeth at least 2 times a day? Do you eat fast food at least 2 times a day? Do you eat fruits and vegetables at least 2 times a day? Do you think about consequences of your actions before making a decision? Talk with your partners about using protection like condom. Use a condom the next time you have sexual intercourse. Visit a teen clinic to get a pregnancy test, HIV test, or birth control. Drink alcohol or use illegal drugs. And the last question in regards to body image is, I don't like the way I look or have respect for myself and my body. So these are various questions that we came up with based on the feedback we got from the schools. The first activity, as you can see on the icons that we have listed below, so remember those are important and they do serve a purpose, is the government's My Plate activity. And what this focuses on is having students actually look at their daily meals in terms of what foods they consume and start looking at how to be more inclusive of fruits, grains, vegetables, proteins, and dairies. So they're getting a complete and balanced meal. What they then will do is, this is an example of a completed one, is post little stickers on each area. And this person actually did it incorrectly, but what we like to do is have them develop a lunch. So they would put certain little stickers of what their ideal lunch would look like into the correct area. And what we're looking for that is for them to develop behavior change in terms of what foods they eat, looking at eating a more nutritious meal. The next sheet shows an example of what students are currently eating, or what most teens typically choose as their meal. You have your pizza, your pie, your snacks, which is a Twinkie, your hamburgers, and your soda. So that's definitely not a balanced meal. There's no vegetables there. There's really not too many grains there. And I don't even see a fruit there either. So that's an example of our first activity. We follow that up with some education on nutrition and looking at nutrition labels. I don't want to go too much into that this whole activity, because that would take this video would be probably about an hour long. So that's an example of activity number one. The second activity is a body image activity that has examples of what male images and female images in terms of what people would consider beauty over the course of many years. So this is an example. And what their activity was to do was to list your favorite 3 celebrities, female and male, and what physical features you liked about these celebrities. What ended up happening when doing this activity is, as the education coordinator and specialist, I found that this activity lacked the educational content as the first lesson, which focused a lot on nutrition and how to make healthier decisions, where this one focused on opinions based on body image. So what we're going to do for the second version of this life skills packet is do something that really focuses on the participant. And I have an example of what that might look like. And that is a body image questionnaire, and it's called How Do You Measure Up? And what this looks at is different behaviors that a participant may do, and they ask questions about it. So let me go ahead and look at some of these questions. And their questions are: have you avoided sports or working out because you didn't want to be seen in gym clothes? Does eating even a small amount of food make you feel fat? Do you worry or obsess about your body not being small, thin, or looking good enough? Are you concerned your body is not muscular or strong enough? And so on. So the idea of this is basically to look at this, and if they answer yes to at least 3 of these questions, then it's perceived that they might have a negative body image perception. And moving forward with that, we provide statistics. And remember, this is all being piloted, and this information that I'm explaining right now, I would like to include in the body image activity. So this goes over some statistics. The United States, approximately 10% of girls and women are suffering from diagnosed eating disorders. Of these, at least 50,000 will die as a direct result of an eating disorder. I'm sorry, it's early in the morning. An amazing 80% of women are dissatisfied with their appearance. So it focuses on various statistics in regards to body image. We follow that up with why is negative body image a problem? It goes into various disorders such as anorexia, bulimia, depression, and body dysmorphic disorder. So as you can see, we're definitely looking at catering towards the participant when developing these lessons. At first, we thought of doing a fun, cute lesson that focused on body image in terms of how we perceive the media. I didn't really think it had that much content, statistical information, and long-lasting behavioral changes. So we're going to modify that in the second round.